Hello and welcome. I've been meaning to do this for a while, but I spawned in 4 of my favorite off-road vehicles. I'm going to put them up against the Bajarama track, which I've been playing this track pretty much since Rigs of Rods, honestly, so I'm fairly familiar. It's really satisfying to get a good clean lap, just for the fact that it's almost kind of like a motocross style track a little bit. You can kind of see there's like rhythm sections and whatnot a little further up, but first I'm going to start off with the LKS PreRunner. I'd say this is probably like the first truck that was like pretty capable when it came out, because this was before like the hopper and everything. The one thing I will say is this vehicle is very fast, but very slidey with the rear wheel drive. You can't customize it at all. This is completely stock, how it comes with the mod. And all the mods, ooh, I went for a roll there. All the mods in this video I'll have linked in the description. But the thing that's hard about this vehicle is, yeah, it just fishtails everywhere, and it's really hard to kind of keep a clean run going, if that makes sense. Also, the automatic gearbox is very annoying with this, but again, there's no way you can change that. I'm probably going to do like, I guess, 2 laps with each vehicle. So far this isn't going too poorly, except for that roll, I guess, but alright, so this is where kind of the first rhythm section is. It's just kind of doubling your way through, but it's still pretty hard to time and get clean. Oh, I overjumped that, but luckily the suspension could deal with it, so we're all good. There is an alternate line, which I'll try to take on the next lap. And then another kind of double, but then here you triple, triple, and triple again. And I was really launching that last one. My bad. This is also the Bajarama skin for the LKS. Seemed fitting. Alright, rounding the final corner, and we rolled yet again. That's alright though, I don't think there's any damage. We'll just keep on going. So now we're back onto the start straight, I guess. Oh. Man, this thing definitely wants to roll a little more than I remember. But so far, so good, except for those couple rolls. I guess I'm going to kind of like, not really score the vehicles, but just kind of like, I don't know, rate them in order from favorite to least favorite. Obviously, my opinion is subjective. You could definitely have a different one. Right. Oh, and yet another roll. Alright, we'll go ahead and reset that real quick so we don't flounder around too much. Keep forgetting that it's automatic, and I keep accidentally shifting into second, which is kind of annoying. That's probably honestly my biggest complaint about the LKS PreRunner, is I just cannot stand the automatic gearbox. If you could, oop, almost rolled again. Yeah, if you could definitely change that, that would bump this up, in my opinion, quite a bit. But overall, this is definitely a great off-road vehicle, especially when it first came out, because there wasn't really anything else like it. Alright, let's try to take this alternate line. So again, we'll double, 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 double. And it's kind of nice because you end with that double, sort of. It's like a double over a dragon's back, kind of. And it's really smooth. Oh, we're getting really sideways. Alright. That was bound to happen sooner rather than later. Did not mean to reset back that far. Let's get back to where I'm at. I don't really know what to do about the no textures right there. I've tried clearing the cache and everything, but oh well. Alright. Spin this around real quick. I don't think that's going to be enough speed. Let's see if I can triple this though. Not quite. Well, at least you can kind of show off how well the suspension absorbs those hard impacts. Ooh, ooh. That was a little whack. Alright. Coming up on the final corner here. Let's not roll it this time. And there we go. So that is the LKS PreRunner. Now let's go ahead and switch on over to the hopper. So I did have to make one change at least, because both this and the desert truck, the D series, aren't really fast enough stock to clear a lot of the jumps. So for this one I put in a stage 1 turbocharger, and that's it. And then I did customize the D series just a touch as well, but I'll get into that later. Let's go ahead and just see how the hopper does. Now when the hopper came out, or at least this variation of the hopper, this was by far my favorite off-road vehicle. As you can see, the suspension, even though it was really kind of set up for crawling, it works really well for this style of terrain, I guess. This like kind of course, it absorbs it really well. I also went and locked both the front and rear diffs. I don't know, I just feel like it kind of helps a little bit with handling, in my opinion. Alright, the hopper does like to endo just a smidge on some of the takeoffs. I kind of botched that corner there, but oh well. Alright. Slow up for this so we don't over jump it. Yeah, it's just such a fun, like, fast, flowy track. So it's easy to spend a lot of time on, especially if you're getting smooth laps like this. Oh, kind of overjumped that, but that's alright. Suspension will take care of that. Alright, so yeah, already, right off the bat, way easier to control than the PreRunner. But again, this isn't stock, because stock it would be pretty slow. But still, really fun if you throw in, like I said, I just threw in a stage 1 supercharger, and that makes a world of difference. Okay, so we're on to the second lap now. I guess I'm gonna take the alternate line in the rhythm section. I guess I'll try to do it with all the vehicles. Slight spoiler alert, I guess, the D series PreRunner, even with the upgrades that I have done to it, it still isn't fast enough for some reason to do the alternate line, but it can do the main line I usually take in the rhythm section. So that's a little weird. I'll still do it just to demonstrate, but yeah, in testing I definitely could not get it to do the alternate rhythm lane. So yeah, so far no issues. Honestly, this is a breeze to drive. Oh, coming up a little short. That's alright. Suspension will take care of that, and we'll still clear this big gap there. We'll slide it in, shift down to first. There we go, that's a better way to take the corner. Alright, again, slow up just a smidge so we don't overshoot that. Okay, and we'll take this alternate line here. Alright, so double, 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 and one last double. There we go. Yeah, very smooth line. It does also with the hopper, if you land a little front end heavy and kind of like case the jump a smidge, it does like to bounce back up, and you kind of like wheelie down the face of the landing ramp. Alright, so that is 2 laps complete. So that is the showing for the hopper. Now let's go on and switch on over to the PreRunner. So the changes that I made on the PreRunner was I put in the 4-wheel drive transfer case, and I put in a welded diff in the front, and then I also threw in a stage 1 supercharger. I could obviously do a little more upgrades and maybe like shave off some of the weight to help, but I wanted to keep them as stock as possible while still being able to actually like complete this track. So as you can see right off the bat, definitely not clearing the first jump section as well as the hopper, but the second jump section is alright. Okay. Now I'm gonna try to go wide to get a good run out of this corner, so we can make that just barely make that. That one likes to fly back down, reared down for some reason over that jump, but it's not too bad. It's definitely manageable. Alright. So I'm actually gonna, right here, I'm just gonna stop and reset. That way I can show off the alternate line, because I know I'm probably not gonna make it, but I'm gonna try. See right there, that's where it really messes up. Let's try that one last time. I'll try it. I was in second. I'll try to keep it in first, just to show off that even in first it's... I switched to second there, but either way, you still don't really make that jump in first. Trust me, I've tried. Maybe you can do it if you get a really good run and it's perfect, but I'm not going to spend too long doing it, because like I said, I tried for quite a while. Let's see if I can at least get this part smooth. Getting a little squirrely, but that's alright. We cased it just barely. But I guess we'll just go ahead and continue on. I'll get that line cleaner on the second lap. And then this part, easy. Suspension doing its work, soaking up everything. I just love how easy this truck is you're able to control it and throw it around with the front wheel drive, or with the 4-wheel drive, I guess. With 2-wheel drive it's still pretty fun, but it's a little harder to control and it just doesn't hook up, so it's kind of slow in my opinion and underpowered. But if you throw on a couple upgrades, then it's pretty good. Definitely one of my favorites, obviously, because it's in this video. Alright, let's see if we can actually clear this. Almost. I did hit it a little wonky. It was kind of sliding when I hit it. Alright. I would say, yeah, this vehicle, even with the upgrades, is definitely the slowest out of the bunch, which you can make it faster, but again, trying to keep it close to stock to give it more of a fair comparison. Oops, starting to teeter on 2 wheels there, but luckily didn't roll because we broke traction. Alright, now let's just do the normal line here. Try to set up for it. Trying not to get too out of shape. There we go. Nice and easy for the PreRunner. Last little rhythm section. Alright. Coming to the end of the second lap here. We'll throw it into the last corner. And over the finish jump. So that is... Oop. And a roll at the end for good measure. So that is the PreRunner. Now lastly, we will go on to the DSC Scarab. So this, I would say, is definitely my favorite mod off-road vehicle, because the suspension is just set up so well. You'll see what I mean in a second once I come up to some of the jumps. And it's got good get up and go. It's pretty quick. Alright, we'll clear that, no problem. Land like a pillow. Take that inside. Oh yeah, this is like, did the creator test this vehicle on the Bajarama map? Because honestly, I feel like this vehicle is made specifically for this map. Like, it just clears everything so perfectly. Not a single issue. Alright, let's go ahead and... Oop. I kind of botched that corner and cut it a little bit, but that's alright. Not too big of a deal. Alright, now let's go ahead and I'm going to just take this alternate line first. The thing I like about this vehicle is it doesn't get kicked around really like it. Oh, oops. Right as I was saying that, I messed it up. I'm going to go ahead and just do a quick redo of that, just to show off that it is pretty much a piece of cake to do. But like I was saying, it doesn't really get kicked around too much, so it makes it really, really easy to control and also get under control if you start to get a smidge out of shape, which honestly isn't very often with this vehicle. But yeah, just landing like a pillow. Alright, oop. Go ahead and chucked it into this last corner here. On to the second lap we go. Yeah, if you haven't downloaded and played around with this DSC Scarab mod, I highly recommend it. Just do some suspension testing or do some, you know, off-road racing kind of like this, like just something with a bunch of jumps and whatnot. Like, it's just so fun to watch the suspension work, and it's so smooth. And it flies really level. Like, I feel like this car flies the most level out of all the other off-road vehicles that I've picked for this video. Which, by the way, if there's like a mod or some other vehicle that I'm kind of missing that you think I should try out on this Bajarama circuit, let me know. I'm definitely not opposed to giving it a go and stacking it up on this. Sorry for the pause there. Or even if you have like a custom config that you want me to try out that you build yourself, like, I'd be willing to try out that too as well. Alright, so we're gonna hit the normal line. Over jumped that a smidge, but again, that's alright. The suspension will deal with that. again, just super easy and smooth through that little triple section. Like, there's triples, if that makes sense. I don't know. Alright, nearing the finish line, and we just crossed it, so that is 2 laps in the bag for the Scarab. So I would say, if I was going to rate these, and I'll rate them just specifically for this circuit, I would probably do them something like, let's get this in position. Didn't mean to hit the Scarab there. But yeah, I would say probably something along these lines is how I would rate the vehicles for this circuit. I guess there's a little bit of discrepancy with the D series because it had the most upgrades, and technically it can't really do the circuit without the upgrades. But I do really like the PreRunner. It's just a little too hard to handle for me. But yeah, I'd probably give it first the Scarab, next the Hopper with that Stage 1 turbocharger, then the D series, then the PreRunner. But anyway, if you've played all these vehicles, let me know what your ranking system would be for the Bajarama circuit. And yeah, until the next one.